This experience happened when I was 15 years old. I had an older brother who was 8 years older than me. In the eyes of the people around me, my brother was an asshole. He often went out to fight with friends, but my relationship with my brother was very good. Helped me deal with the troubles in my life. I was often bullied at school before. My brother taught him a lesson when he found out. My brother loves riding motorcycles and joins motorcycle clubs. There are often some activities, occasionally he also asks me to join him. One night after getting off work, he was about to ride a motorcycle home from work. On the way home, he was hit and killed by a truck driver. It is said that a large truck ran through the traffic lights. My brother usually drives very fast. I once rode his motorcycle. He was not wearing a helmet in the accident. The doctors told my mother that he probably did not suffer because they thought his death was instantaneous. Before that, I always went to church. Our whole family would. However, after my brother died, I didn't even dare to enter the church. In my opinion, if God was real, my brother would not leave us. I became very negative. I did poorly in school and talked to my teachers a lot. My temper also became grumpy, my grades dropped, and soon my basketball coach told me that I wasn't eligible to continue playing basketball. Well, I felt like I wasn't interested in anything, and it didn't take long for me to completely give up on myself. I dropped out of school. I also started drinking. Anything that numbs my pain. One night, I sneaked out of the house to a party with my few friends. There are lots of strangers at the party. I drink all the time, I enjoy the feeling of alcohol, I get drunk very quickly, I get nasty, I provoke a tall guy, and needless to say, I get caught by a tall guy after a beating. I was kicked out of the party and I chose to walk home. I remember I was very angry at the time because I was at the party with my friends and they didn't help me. But I thought it was my own fault later on. When I got home, I tried my best not to make any noise because I was afraid of waking up my family. Opened my bedroom door and I fell straight to the floor because it was cooler there and I felt hot all over. Slowly, I lost consciousness, and the next thing I knew was that I was standing next to my body, looking down at my drunk self and seeing vomit in my mouth. My head was tilted to one side, but apparently not enough, my vomit couldn't pass. Then I saw it, that tunnel of light, and I was pulling towards it at a very fast speed, and it only got faster as I went in. I walked faster and faster towards a light that got closer and closer until I suddenly bumped into it. If I had to describe it, I would describe this light as the most perfect love in the universe. It felt like home. I had never felt so peaceful. A voice began to communicate with me, not in words, but in my head, and this voice told me to look at my life, and I was given the memory of my life. It seems like every moment of my life is being shown to me on the big screen, pausing in different places. During these pauses, I experienced what other people felt. It was a horrible experience. The phrase, "words cut like a knife," is so true that I cried when my life review ended. For the first time, I truly regret my actions. Then I saw my mother cry in front of the coffin, as she did for my brother. The pain in her eyes was unbearable. Then, to my surprise, the voice asked me, "Do you understand why you want to go back?" I asked how I could go back if I was already in the coffin, and the voice replied, "All you show is a possibility, time doesn't exist here. Can I send you back? Do I have a choice?" There is always a choice. When you were created, your free will was given. Despite how much I wished to stay forever in the light, I knew right away that as long as my mother didn't cry for me, I would be back in my body. Within a minute, I was back in my body, breathing hard. I was drunk. But when I woke up, I knew my mother had gotten up to go to the bathroom, and when he got back to bed, it seemed like something had told her to come and see me in my room. She found me unconscious and immediately woke Dad up to find I wasn't breathing. He emptied my mouth and throat as much as possible before giving me CPR. They called for help and they were doing artificial respiration for me at the same time. I was watching all this, watching the crying mother beside me. I tried my best to open my eyes. I quit drinking for 2 years last month. Then I went back to school and I graduated. I did spend a year working before going to college because I was trying to do better and I didn't think it was fair to have my parents pay for my tuition. I also started going to church again, and while I was still struggling to accept my brother's death, I knew I would see him again one day. Now that I think about how stupid it was before, I realize how difficult it was for my parents, especially after my brother left. Now I will stay with my parents whenever I have time. I am grateful for everything that happened.